do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
When you walk out on that field today, ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready!
Hey, CJ.
When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt.
You're gonna drop the ball last night.
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how like we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up with chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's so much crying from them. He's a man. They can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. You still want to feel man. That's a war out there. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time.
What's up, Clarissa Mayfield? Monique Mosley.
Let's go.
Charlotte, I wore this just for you for your birthday.
It's a wrap. Game over.
Oh, no, this game ain't over. In fact, it is just getting started right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones, and it is our Media Monday, 10/12/2020. 10/12/2020. If you don't play dominoes, you don't know about that Twinkie. You think I'm talking about some food. You got to slap them bones down and say, give me Twinkie. Y'all know about Kelly Hodges. They don't know about that. Especially if they went to a PWI. If they went to a PWI, they are more than likely know how to play bridge, pinochle, pokino, go fish, stuff like that. But if they went to an HBCU or like me, hung out predominantly at an HBCU, they know how to play tonk, they know how to play spades, they know how to play bid whist, and they know how to bust some dominoes. And like they say at Miles College, we stay up late, but we graduate. All right? So before y'all get it twisted, baby, and people can play dominoes when they tell you what you got in your hand before you play it. Go on, play that double six. Go on, play that 2-6. Go on, play that 2-tray. It's like, man, if you don't get out my hand, granddaddy, because it's typically somebody that's old enough to be your granddaddy. So if you don't get out of my hand, granddaddy, let me play my bones, and then you play exactly what he told you was going to play. And then he slap his bones down and say, give me my Twinkie. I'll take that Twinkie. Yeah, man. Look, I learned how to play dominoes just because I was allowed to slap the table. Y'all wasn't allowed to do that growing up. My mama would have ran me out of Forest Park, Ohio if I had slapped furniture when I was a kid. But, baby, when I found out you could slap them bones down on that table, I just wanted to play to be able to do that. I would slap my bones down. I ain't even got nothing. I'm slapping bones. It's like, dude, that's like 8. Okay. Your turn. Look, not my fault, your fault. So, yeah, man. Big shout out to Charlotte. Charlotte is a big-time Texan fan. And her team got their first win yesterday under legendary head coach. Yeah, that's his new name. Under legendary head coach Romeo Crennel, the coach with the highest winning percentage, the head coach with the highest winning percentage in Texans history, Romeo Crennel, Y'all see what I did there? Got the highest winning percentage in Texan franchise history. He's never lost a game. Romeo Crennel has never lost a game as the Texans head coach. He's got the highest winning percentage in Texans coaching history. And look, he led them to a victory for Charlotte's birthday. And Charlotte, you know what I had to do? I had to call my homeboy. I had to call one of my roadies and say, "Yo, man, I got to be careful calling them boy. Like right now, European people, my European brothers and sisters, do not call African American man boy right now. I don't care if y'all grew up together. Don't be talking about, yeah, that's my boy. No, not right now. Wait till after the election and see how things play out. But hold up on the boy." So I had to call my guy. Usher to sing happy birthday to Charlotte. So Charlotte, this for you. Wait a minute, is it on? Sing, Usher. He ain't doing it. Why is it not working?
Oh, go shorty, it's your birthday. Ooh, it's your birthday. Go shorty, it's your birthday. Today's your day. Happy birthday to you.
Charlotte, you know I had to do that. You know I had to do that. You know I had to hit Usher on the hip and say, "Yo, dog, I need you to send this out to one of my long times, one of my day ones." Yeah, to Charlotte, and you for your birthday, you got to win. The Houston Texans got their first win of the whole doggone season, and it came from the new head coach who's got the highest winning percentage ever as a Houston Texans head coach, none other than Romeo Crennel. And J.J. Watt and them said Romeo Crennel was dancing down there in the locker room after the game. Now, I'm not trying to shame him because I was a big boy once too. Have y'all seen my maturation, my transformation over the years on this show? Been on the show since 2017. And I was a big dude when I first got on the show, man. My face was round. If y'all get some of those memories that I get from the old shows when me and Michael Harris were here, let me tell you something. I was round. My face was like a basketball. LeBron could have dunked me on the way to a championship. And then all of a sudden I started slimming up. I made that transition from real meat to being a pescatarian and a vegan. And baby, my face started slimming down a little bit. I started getting real pretty in the face. I started looking like a new. But listen, Romeo Crennel had to do that big boy in the locker room last night. Romeo Crennel he didn't do too much. He just, and then he hit a whoa. I was like, Romeo, you better come on here, boy. You better come, because big boys don't like to sweat when they dancing. So they'll do a little, they'll hold. Can I stand up and do it for y'all? They'll do a little side to side, little side. They'll do a little, but they ain't gonna be doing all that other stuff. And Romeo, he did a little and then he hit a whoa. I said, Romeo Crennel, we got the head coach with the highest winning percentage in Houston Texans history, and we got a coach with some rhythm. I'm not trying to talk about him on his way out the door, but I know Bill O'Brien didn't have no rhythm. He's too mean to have rhythm. He didn't have integrity, so how you gonna have rhythm? Y'all done made me hot. Hold on, let me turn this fan on. Hold on, because y'all done got me hot. Romeo done got me all fired up. We got the best. We got the Valencia. We got the coach with the highest winning percentage in the history of the Houston Texans. Watch this. They scored more points than they have all year long. They gave up the fewest number of points that they had all year long. He got more yards out of David Johnson. And you know what I decided? Y'all bear with me for a second. Some of y'all ain't gonna know what I'm talking about. But every now and then, marriages between two grown-ups don't work out. And your mother will take you and the kids to one house and your father will go live in another house. And then eventually there'll be somebody hanging around that she'll say, oh, that's your Uncle David. It's like, oh, hey, Uncle David, I ain't never met you before, but okay, Uncle David. And then eventually Uncle David will become somebody more than an uncle. And he'll be your mama's friend. And then eventually your mama and her friend, they'll get married, and then your mama will sit you down and she'll try and say, well, now this your new, well, you don't have to call him daddy, but you can call him stepdaddy if you want to, or you can call him Mr. David. I'm not going to call David Johnson daddy, but I'm going to call him Mr. Johnson for a while. I'm going to call him Mr. Johnson for a while. I'm not going to call him daddy because he ain't my daddy yet. He ain't do all that. But Romeo Crennel got more out of David Johnson than the other dude was able to get out of him. So, like I said, I'm not ready to call him daddy, but I will call him Mr. Johnson. I will call him Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson ran for almost 100 yards. And man, Brandon Cooks. Oh my God. How in the world did they get all of that out of these two players? I'm impressed. Listen, I got to take a quick break. If you want to get in, Media Monday, 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000. We'll be right back.
Non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who've helped people that have been injured or wronged. Have you been diagnosed with cancer? Are you one of the millions who have taken Zantac or other generic versions of this popular drug to help treat stomach issues? Then pay close attention to this message. The FDA said it detected low levels of a probable cancer-causing chemical known as NDMA in Zantac and other generic forms of this popular drug. They've banned sales and even removed it from the market. If you've been diagnosed with cancer and you've taken Zantac or a generic equivalent, call the legal helpline now. You could receive a free cash award and have your medical expenses covered. And there's no upfront cost to you. They only get paid if you win. So please call now. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. That's 800-251-7816.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
This is Earl G. Robinson. When people say my vote doesn't matter, when you don't vote, your vote counts against you. The other side gets a vote. If you want to fix our broken criminal justice system and reform your local police department to make it more accountable, you need to vote. If you want to increase economic prosperity in the black community, you need to vote. If you want to protect the right to vote, you need to vote. If you want more funding for our schools, you need to vote. Voting does matter.
I'm jealous.
If Black Lives Matter to you, you need to vote. Early voting begins on October 13th and ends on October 30th. Election day is November 3rd. You need to vote. We all need to vote. If you don't vote, it will matter.
Paid for by the Communications Workers of America, District 6. Claude Cummings Jr., Vice President.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
Hi, this is TJ from South Park. I listen to the lunch break with AJ Jones on 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
Hey, if you ain't got the rhythm, I'm praying for you. If you can't dance, I'm praying for you. I'm not shaming you. I'm not shaming you. But if you can't dance, I'm praying for you. And TD Blackshirt, man, listen, man, all joking aside, I feel real bad for Dak, man. I feel real bad for Dak. And I am not one of those dudes that are coming for Dak saying that he should have took the money and that's his own fault and all that kind of stuff. Like, that was horrific. I don't care who it was. I don't care if it's somebody that I don't like. I would not have wished an injury on that person at all. So for all you Cowboy fans out there, congratulations on the win, but so sorry for what happened with Dak Prescott. If you don't know, Dak suffered a broken ankle in the game, underwent surgery last night, and is already in good spirits and is, looking forward to rehab and coming back. So let me tell you something. Football aside, Dak is one of the good dudes. I'm really rooting for Dak to make it all the way back. So yeah, but Blackshear, let me tell you something. It wasn't that I wasn't a Texan fan. I didn't like Bill O'Brien at all. Game peep game, birds of a feather flock together. Back in my day, I used to be a little hustler, and I could peep Bill O'Brien's hustle. He was hustling them people for their money and hustling y'all for your fandom, and they finally caught up to him. So yeah, I'm back rocking with the Texans. Hello, you live on the lunch break. Who's this?
AJ, it's Todd.
Hey man, what's going on, Todd? You've been MIA, bro. What's going on? Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. You want to have a moment of silence for the Longhorns?
You need to stop.
I'm just, because see, what I just say, game peep game, birds of a feather flock together. I know Tom Herman is hustling y'all. I know, I used to hustle, man. I'm trying to tell you, I was trying to be a little hustler back in the day, and Tom Herman is a hustler. He hustling y'all for your money.
Man, let's get to him for a minute.
Okay.
Because I got some work for him.
Okay, give him some work, bro.
He's a politician right now. He's throwing out all kinds of excuses trying to get by him time. All right, so I want to talk about Dak. You and I kind of texted back and forth about it last night.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's a right or wrong, right? Like, I'm not blaming Dak, saying, hey, you should have done this. Dak's a grown man, right?
Yeah.
He knew two options. The Cowboys had made some offers to him. He wanted the 4-year. Cowboys wanted him on a 5-year deal. There's probably some differences on money per year. You know what I mean? Probably some other things we don't know about.
Yep.
And, at the end of the day, Dak chose to go with that franchise tag. He felt obviously comfortable with it to play that 1 year. And at the end of the year, I guess, I don't even know if betting on himself is the right way to do it or right way to say it. And then at the end of the year, kind of see where things are at in hopes it would get done. So I don't know if there's a right or wrong, but if I'm an agent, right, and he has an agent, right?
Yeah.
And I look at something like that and I say, hey, man, this is, football's an extremely violent sport. I would say, man, I don't think this is a really smart idea because you already got a huge body of work. Not like he's had some really bad, inconsistent years, and he only really has one good year out of his whole body of work, where someone could say, man, you really don't have enough body of work on your resume to command that. You really need to play another good season where we can really ask for that legitimately. So I would have advised him to sit out. And that's not hindsight 2020. Le'Veon Bell did this, right? Le'Veon Bell said, enough's enough. I'm not playing under this tag anymore because if I get hurt, nobody's going to pay me. And I think Jason Hatcher hit on it really good on Instagram. When Dak comes back now, then the narrative's going to be, well, how healthy is the ankle? You know what I mean? Because that ankle injury reminded me of Gordon Hayward's ankle when he hurt it against the Cavs.
Yep.
And opening night. It looked the exact same way the foot was. And just the way I've kind of read about the Gordon Hayward injury and Dax, there seems to be a lot of similarities there. So now the narrative is going to be, okay, how healthy is the foot? So I'm not trying to be long-winded. That's why I would have advised him if I was an agent. And if he wouldn't have taken my advice, I'd say, man, I'm probably not the right guy for you because if you get hurt, this is going to make the whole thing just look bad. I'm not sure why he chose to play through it.
And see, that's the thing. I think Dak has made a personal decision to not be that guy. He didn't want to get involved in the protest during the national anthem. No problem with that. He chose to reach out to the police and try and send more money their way to kind of help them train better rather than jumping on the other end of it. No problem with that. Mm-hmm. But he also didn't want to be the guy to hold out. He made his best shot, based on what he thought and felt then. They countered with something else. He countered, they countered, and then he decided to, go with what they gave him. And again, like you said, if you want to call that, gambling on yourself or banking on yourself, no problem with that at all. And then this happened. So I don't think, I mean, just the fact that we saw Dak smiling in a hospital with a broken ankle with his brother, knowing that they just recently got through the passing of his mother, just recently got through the passing of his brother from suicide.
Yep.
And this dude is in a hospital smiling with his brother with a broken ankle, not making the, it ain't like he's starving, but not making the money that he wanted to make. I'm going to roll with Dak on it. If he ain't mad, I'm not mad.
Yeah, no. I'm the same way. But let's fast forward of where this will be, let's say, in the summer, right? Let me give you two hypotheticals. Remember when Isaiah Thomas, not the Pistons, Thomas, the point guard for the Celtics.
Yep.
He played through a hip injury, right?
Right.
He made it worse, right?
Right.
So if he would have just shut it down, Isaiah Thomas was set for a big payday. Not saying a max deal, but he was set to get paid, right?
Yep.
Kept playing through it, busted the hip up even worse, and never got paid, right? No, I mean, Celtics got rid of him, then he kind of bounced around. He recently had another hip surgery, I found out just recently, still trying to get it right. Going back to what Jason Hatcher was saying, he was saying, hey, I can see a scenario, and I'm paraphrasing, Jerry next year says, I'm going to let Dak go, and it's going to be a business decision that I just don't know if, and I hear what Dak's saying. I don't know Dak personally, obviously, but I can see why he did the tag, because he's in that leadership role. I don't want to, I don't want to hold out. You know what I mean? I'm always there for camp. I remember Ray Lewis never held out. And Ray Lewis talking about that. He was always wanted to be there for camp, right?
Yep.
But here's a scenario I could see happening. Let's say Andy Dalton plays good.
Go ahead, because you've been talking about this for a minute, but go ahead.
But just follow me on this, AJ.
I'm with you. Go ahead.
Let's say Andy Dalton plays well, and somehow they're going to win the East. The East is trash. And let's say Andy Dalton wins the East, somehow wins a couple playoff games, and they get to the NFC Championship game. And then at the end of the year, Jerry goes to Andy's agent and goes to Dak's agent, gets a feel of who wants what, right?
Yep.
And Andy's agent said, hey, I already made my money in Cincinnati. I'm from here. I love it here. Man, I'll play for $20 million a year, right?
Yep.
3 year, $60 million contract.
Yep.
Say Dak and his agent are still at 35 to 40.
Yep.
We could say, hey, Dak, I love you. Appreciate all you've done, but I'm going to roll with Andy, because then I can take up that freed up money and fix that trash.
Todd, stay right there. Let me finish. Let me hit these commercials. I'm coming right back to you. Todd Malcolm joining us here on the lunch break. We'll be right back with his comments right after this.
This is Commissioner Rodney Ellis, and here is my friend and our next vice president.
Hey everybody, it's me, Kamala. When we vote, things change. When we vote, we address the need for all people to be treated with dignity and respect in our country.
Vote early, October 13th through the 30th, or on Election Day, November the 3rd. Please vote.
Paid for by First Tuesday PAC. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
All right, it's election time, which means political ads are everywhere.
Yeah, they are.
But there's a reason for that. This is important.
Okay.
We have a president who is a straight up racist, who uses racist language and attacks to divide Americans against each other. We don't just need a new president, we need leaders who aren't afraid to stand up to Trump. But our senator, Republican John Cornyn, he votes with Donald Trump more than 95% of the time. So what do we do about it? We vote for Democrat MJ Hagar. MJ is a combat veteran and is a working mom who knows healthcare costs are out of control. She'll fight for affordable healthcare, cheaper prescription drug prices, and protect people with pre-existing conditions. And she's endorsed by President Obama. But most importantly, she's got the courage to stand up to Donald Trump. So vote. Vote Democrat, all the way down the ballot. And vote for Democrat MJ Hagar for U.S. Senate.
I'm MJ Hagar, candidate for Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by MJ for Texas.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Two radio stations in one.
Now is a great time to replace your worn-out windows during the Renewal by Anderson 25-year savings event. Upgrade your home today. Buy 4 windows and get the 5th one free. Plus, get 12 months with no interest, no money down, and no payments. Call now. Get 4 windows and get the 5th one free. Installation and warranty included. Renewal by Anderson takes every CDC recommended safety precaution to protect your family. For 25 years, people have trusted us for their window replacement needs, and you can too. Call now to learn about our buy 4, get the 5th one free window replacement offer.
800-245-1537. 800-245-1537. 800-245-1537. That's 800-245-1537.
I'm Ben Tankard, and you are listening to The Lunch Break.
All right, y'all. We back here on The Lunch Break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones, and man, my phone has been blowing up. Text messages. I'm sorry. Romeo Crennel has not lost a game as the Houston Texans head coach. He's got the highest winning percentage ever. If he were to stop coaching today, he would have the highest winning coaching percentage ever. Stop coming for me. I'm finally a Texan fan, and now y'all hate the way I'm celebrating the Texans. And no, I never saw Bill O'Brien dance. I don't think he can. I don't believe you. If there's no video of it, it didn't happen. Romeo Crennel, on the other hand, is the man. He can get down. He can blow up Dance with the Stars. There you go. So I just answered, Todd, about 59 text messages in one little tribe.
What were you talking about, or Romeo?
Oh, man, because Romeo Crennel's got the highest winning percentage ever as a Houston Texan coach.
Yeah, they looked a little bit better, but...
Todd, he's got the highest winning percentage in Houston Texans history. Leave it alone. That's a period right there.
Oh,
that's a hard stop.
Let's get back to my man, Andy.
Okay.
All right, so I could see that scenario playing out where Jerry Jones, he's going to take a PR nightmare hit if he does this, but if Andy plays well, I could see him going potentially with Andy at a significantly lower price tag and maybe fix up that back end of the defense that is just getting exposed.
Todd, let me just say this, because I know that you have been running this scenario for a while. As soon as I saw the situation with Dak, said my prayers for him, and then they put Andy in, and he kind of started off slow, but then he got it together. I said, now we'll see how this is going to play out. Todd's scenario may come to pass. I did not like Tony Dungy, and I got a lot of respect for Coach. I did not like his statement of this might be a blessing in disguise. Now the Cowboys can get back to their real core of running the ball with Ezekiel. And he came back and corrected himself and apologized. But all I'm saying is this. There'll be some times when Andy Dalton's going to have to win that game, win these games with his arm, with his ability, what have you. We'll see. We'll see. If it comes down to Andy and Dak at the end of all of this, that's a business decision, and that's where the business of football kicks in. But Dak has already shown himself as durable, as beyond serviceable, and as a guy who can lead a franchise, to their dreams. Sometimes you got to move a dude off of one team, put him somewhere else for him to, be able to get him to that next step. And to me, Dak is one of those guys that you can do that with. If the Cowboys want to bank on Andy Dalton at any amount cheaper than what they would pay Dak, that's on them. I wouldn't do it. It's not a wise business decision. But right now, guess what? We get to see how it plays out.
Yeah, no. And I didn't want to see it play out like this. Like we were talking about, I guess the two scenarios would have been either Dak got hurt, right? Or maybe Dak wasn't playing well.
Right. I think that's, and I know your heart. That's I know that it was, Dak ain't playing well. Let's give Andy a shot. You put Andy in there, and he ends up looking like Earl Morrow and gets the team, or Frank Reich and gets the team back from 35 down, and they win a playoff game. I get it. But however it happened, we now get to see it play out.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting how that plays out at the end of the year. So now let's talk about Tom Herman.
Yeah.
So, I gotta admit, I'm absolutely shocked how bad they look. I mean, I went to the Texas Tech game, I went to the UTEP game, I went to the OU game, I've been to TCU game, I've been to all of them. And I'm not amazed that he's lost the game. I am amazed that to have a senior quarterback, them to look this bad. And the thing that's troubling too is how disorganized it just looked. Just the penalties,
Right.
Getting punts blocked. You got linemen ineligible downfield, hitting people after the play. I mean, just like textbook undisciplined team, right?
Yep.
Top to bottom.
Yep.
So if I was trying to be devil's advocate of trying to give him some benefit of the doubt, which I can't, but if I was, he tried to hire a new, he's got a new offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, no spring practice, but that has nothing to do with the penalties. You know what I mean? They got some veteran players on that team that are hitting people after the whistle, jumping off sides, false start. So no, it looks a mess. I think they're going to get any better when I look at the schedule. I think here's what's really weird about Tom Herman teams. I cannot figure this out. He doesn't get blown out, right?
Right.
But he's bad enough to lose at the end, right?
Right.
Not bad enough where like a team will beat him like 40-something to 13, right?
Right.
But so Texas always starts out slow. They always get behind. They come back, right? And then at the end, they'll usually find a way to mess it up. Either it'll be a turnover or a penalty. So I don't know where they go with it from that. Everybody keeps telling me they're trying to get Urban Meyer. Your man Willie Gibson says Urban's done. I tend to lean with that.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. I know Willie has covered Urban since he was up in Columbus. I know plenty of people that covered Urban when he was down in Gainesville. Urban's one of those guys. When he's done, he's done. But then there's always that open door, that other possibility that, oh yeah, I've never done that before. Let me try that, and then something will happen and he'll be done. I'll just say this about Tom Herman. You're right in that he does just enough to not get blown out. So in other words, he's like, K-State. It's not UT and Oklahoma. It's UT's looks more like K-State or more like Iowa State than they do like the powerhouse of a conference that they should dominate. It should be them in Oklahoma every year. And I just got to tell you, sometimes these coaches, they get in and they're real good at one thing, but you can tell they're not the guy for everything because it's the little things like the penalties and like clock management and like situational decisions and all that kind of stuff. And Tom Herman and Bill O'Brien have that in common. They want you to think that they're so great at all this other stuff that those things really don't matter when they totally matter. They absolutely matter. And it shows in games like this past week and others.
Well, it's funny you bring up K-State because I recorded the Kansas State TCU game, right? Because obviously Texas lost to TCU the previous week. K-State shuts down TCU, beats them 21-14, right?
Right.
So textbook, disciplined football. K-State runs the ball down your throat. They don't commit penalties. They don't give up big plays. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Really disciplined team.
Yep.
Iowa State beat Texas Tech 31-15.
Yep.
We give up 56 points to Texas Tech, right?
Yep.
Iowa State, with that lack of talent, shuts down Tech to 15.
Yep.
When I say it's mind-boggling, it's I can't even understand it because when I told Willie this, I was like, I want to coach like a Matt Campbell, right?
Yeah.
That's doing more with less.
Right.
Than a politician that's great at just talking. Because Matt Campbell comes across as just a really intense, no-nonsense football coach, attention to detail. So that's what I think Texas needs, and they're still struggling to trying to find, that guy. But I think the Urban Meyer thing is just a pie in the sky that's never going to happen unless you throw him like a Jimbo Fisher contract, maybe.
I was just going to say that with an Urban Meyer, you go ahead and you hit your best shot. I mean, you swing for the fences with Urban Meyer, and if you don't get him, then okay, at least you took your shot. It's kind of like the thing with Nick Saban a few years ago. You at least make him an offer. You don't not offer him, and you give him everything that he wants, and at least make it hard for him to say no. But at the end of the day, you've got to have a viable coach in mind if you don't get Urban Meyer. And I think UT has been guilty of their past success, that you're UT. It's like Notre Dame running around thinking we're Notre Dame, so we can get all the top recruits and we can get all the top head coaches. Folks don't want to go to South Bend anymore. And before long, folks are not going to want to go to Austin because it is not the program that people thought it was.
Yeah, I mean, if Texas is not, we may already be there. It's kind of like Nebraska, right?
Yeah.
It gets stale,
Yeah. Yeah.
You get bad for so long.
Right.
Yeah. It kind of sinks into the culture of like you're just not good. Florida State's another one. They're starting to get bad for a long time because the further you get away from Bobby Bowden, right? And then the bad years at the end with Jimbo Fisher kind of being average, it can be really, really hard to turn. I don't know. I mean, if you give Urban Meyer a 5-year, $50 million total, $10 million a year, you may say, man. For that.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I know one thing. I'd make him higher paid than Jimbo Fisher because what Jimbo Fisher has not done, Urban Meyer has done a couple times. So, and not taking anything away from Jimbo Fisher. He beat number 4 Florida. Okay, so what? It is Florida. You didn't beat Alabama. You didn't beat Clemson. You beat Florida. I'm sure they were overranked. But you still did it. Urban Meyer does that stuff in his sleep. Urban Meyer can game plan for anybody. And it's proven. Now, what goes on behind the scenes might be a little shifty, but, on the field, y'all going to be ready to play every Saturday.
Yeah, so now it'll be interesting how that, shakes out. But, yeah, it just seems like with Texas, man, 10 years of just kind of, but outside, it's weird with college football. I was thinking about this. Outside you get out of those big three of Saban, Dabo, and Meyer, right?
Yep.
You got a whole bunch of just guys. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You got a whole bunch of guys like Tom Herman, got coaching experience.
Right.
So I don't know. It'll be interesting how it plays out. The only way if he saves his job, it won't because they don't want to let him go. It may be because of the buyout, the COVID stuff. Some combination of that may give him a year, but I really don't know what that does because then you're breaking in a brand new quarterback.
Right.
You're just kind of kicking the can down the road a little bit.
Right.
And you're not really, accomplishing much. So it's kind of a weird situation. But no, Tom is definitely the politician right now. He's definitely trying to plant those seeds of, hey, we got a new offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. We didn't have time to practice and install that. And Grant, there may be some merit to all that, right?
You know what, Todd? Don't do it. Don't do it. Everybody else had those same situations.
Well, no. Here's what I'm saying. So let's take OU for example, right? Lincoln Riley hasn't had to install his new offense, right? He's been there, right? So even though Lincoln Riley didn't have a spring practice like everyone else didn't, right? Spencer Rattler already knew the offense, being that he'd already been there a year, right? So I think there's some merit to any level you're coaching at. When you're trying to install a new offense or defense, you do need time to install it. But their big problems are like mental mistakes of discipline type stuff. They have nothing to do with the offense or defense. So even if the guys really knew the system, that's not their biggest problem. Their biggest problem is just being undisciplined, and that has nothing to do with the scheme.
Okay. All right. I mean, okay. If that makes you feel better, go with it, Doc. Go with it. But that kind of thinking right there gives the Tom Hermans more time than they need to have. And that's where the Texans finally said enough is enough. That's where Arthur Blank and them finally said enough is enough. I don't expect Tom Herman to get fired in the middle of the season and what have you, but he's not your guy. He's not your guy. And, oh, yeah, by the way, everybody recruits every year. So, you can't bank on, oh, yeah, we'll have, more recruits and we'll be able to bring our own. Everybody's doing that. But we got a first-year offense coordinator, second-year offense. Guess what? Folks have, it's not like they figured him out this year and they're not going to figure him out next year. I mean, okay.
Like I said, that's my base case scenario. If someone said of trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, let's take the Cowboys, right? And I'm not even a Cowboy fan. Is there some merit? You know, they got Mike Nolan run the defense, right? Is part of their defensive struggles new system, or Cowboys just don't have the personnel?
I think it's more of they didn't address the sides of the ball that they needed to address. They brought in a head coach, but the head coach ain't playing defensive back.
Yeah. You know, here, let me ask you this. The Panthers won 3 straight, right?
Yep.
I thought the Cowboys and the Cowboys and the Longhorns kind of remind me of the Cowboys want to make a sexy hire, right?
Yeah.
We want the guy with the Super Bowl ring. I thought Matt Rule would have been a much better
Absolutely.
hire.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
He's structured. He's a disciplinarian. He's everything Tom Herman is not, right? So I thought Matt Rule would have been a much better hire for the Cowboys. But with Jerry being a marketing machine, he knows that hire wouldn't have been as, as appealing as, hey, we got Mike McCarthy, Super Bowl, you know what I mean? Super Bowl winning coach. But that dude, Matt Rule, I think they've won 3 straight. Once they get McCaffrey back, that guy is a really, really good coach.
Yeah, he's a good coach. And I'll say this too. I'll just go ahead and shake it up too. If Jerry Jones was the gambler that everybody says he is, he would have went ahead and got Lincoln Riley. He would have went ahead and got, again, swing for the fence, make him an offer you can't refuse, and take your best shot with him. But to bring in McCarthy was that typical NFL, the guy's got rings, he's well respected around the league, blah, 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 blah. Todd, I'm up against a break, and I got a couple of calls holding, man. You be safe out there, all right?
All right, thanks, AJ.
All right, it's a good call with Todd. Let me take a quick break. We'll come to our next callers. Y'all stay right there, right after this on the lunch break.
So, Texas NAACP president. In my lifetime, we have worked and sacrificed to make real progress.
That's right, Gary. I'm Claude Cummings, Vice President of the Communication Workers of America. Our community is under attack again.
Our jobs are being exported. The court system has largely turned its back on us, and people need to realize, Claude, is the last election amounts to a true revolution, where all those gains in civil rights and human progress are actually being targeted.
I know powers in Washington want to deny health care to working people who have pre-existing conditions, eliminate environmental protections for minority communities. It even encourages racism.
We thought those days were gone.
Dr. King said the time is always right to do what is right.
Let's do what's right. Let's vote and get your family and friends to vote, too. If you don't, you should not be surprised to see drastic changes in your world.
Vote early or on election day.
Political advertising paid for by the Communications Workers of America.
You're listening to 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legendary KYOK.
Hey, what's up? This your boy James Fortune, and you are listening to The Lunch Break. Keep it locked.
All right, y'all, back here on The Lunch Break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. Let me go back to the phone lines. Got calls holding. Hello, you're live on The Lunch Break. Who's this?
Hey, AJ, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing just fine. It's Blackshear.
Hey, Blackshear, how you doing, man?
Man, everything is well. How's the family?
Everybody's doing well on this side, man. No complaints.
Man, just a quick hitter. Tom Herman and Texas woes are not going to be fixed or solved until they deal with the errors of the past.
Uh-oh.
And the way they treated Charlie Strong sent a vibe and an undercurrent throughout the nation.
Yeah.
And throughout the nation, where those recruits that normally would have went up there to Texas, you see them now in the SEC playing for Alabama, LSU, Auburn. I'm talking about right here in the hotbed. I'm talking about Texas boys. So until they address the errors of the past, and I'm not saying they're racist. I'm just simply saying that they have a segment, they have a culture there that has to be addressed. And until they address it, it's going to continue to be like it is now. I think it's going to be widening because the SEC is is flooding. I mean, our youngsters are leaving Texas, going to play for these other schools. And they bypassing A&M to go play for these other schools in the SEC.
You know, you're right, Blackshire. I agree with you. I won't say that they're racist, but I had a tweet last night. I said it's sneaky ironic that the 49ers are having quarterback problems right now. I say the same thing about UT. I don't think they're racist, but I'm not mad that Red McComb and the UT Nation are having to figure things out after they got their guy, given the way that they treated Charlie Strong. I mean, I'm not saying Charlie was the answer, but I give Charlie more time. He came in to clean up the program and try and put a winner on the field, and they got tired of him trying to clean up the program.
And was heading in the right direction. Even Earl Campbell, I mean, one of the most prominent, came out and say, man, y'all leave Charlie alone.
Yep.
I mean, he's doing what we need to do to get it back on track.
Yep.
And it was just a matter of time. I personally believe that they should have gave him at least through his class.
Right.
And then make your decision after that. But I think if they had let him get his class through, then we wouldn't even be talking about this foolishness right now. They probably one or two.
Right, and that's why I say, man, it's ironic. I'm not saying anything negative about him, but yeah, Red McComb needs to feel this a little bit. He needs to feel this a little bit because they made the comment that Charlie Strong's probably a good coordinator. Well, you got a coordinator as your head coach right now, and it's showing. It's definitely showing.
Yes, sir. Lincoln Riley, just to piggyback off of Todd, they're heading down that same road. You had Big Sermon, one of the top running backs in the country. I think he left, and he up there playing for Ohio State. Because
sure did.
They're going with this foolishness, just airing the ball out, and subsequently they're not addressing the issues on the other side of the ball.
I called Lincoln Riley out Saturday, man. He made that game harder than it needed to be.
Yes, sir.
If he would have just run the ball, run out the clock, do what he needed to do, instead of trying to throw the ball and look all sexy and everything, that game doesn't go to overtime. Thank goodness they pulled it out. But yeah, Lincoln Riley got too cute, and it almost cost him.
Right. I like the little young quarterback, but it looks like he got some weeds up between his ears.
Nah, you leave Rattler alone.
That boy, he had no shame, but I like it. But he got some cloud dust up there somewhere, man.
Man, let me tell you, those blonde extensions might be real.
Man, I need to get my clippers, man. I can just touch some of that foolishness out those boys' head. Man, look like young men out there. Jesus.
Man.
But let me leave that alone.
Blackshire, you're hilarious.
What I called about, man, Zach, I blame his injury on the Dallas Cowboys defense.
Mm-hmm.
If the defense learned how to play some defense, they went out there and they got some good draft choices, but they let some of the more veteran players like Jones, they let them get away.
Yeah, that not filling the hole that Byron Jones left was critical.
Yeah, man.
It was critical. And they have not recovered from it, and they're not even close to recovering from it.
At all.
And then I got to give Todd some credit. He texted me yesterday, and he said, why are you running a design quarterback run when you've got Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard back there in your backfield? And again, Kellen Moore, a relatively young offensive coordinator, they do stuff like that doesn't make sense. And oh yeah, by the way, it has now cost you.
Well, Zach has some ability to change that stuff too. He's been in the league long enough, to have on to some of this stuff, be able to call it off. And I don't like the way that they running Zeke in the first place. I think he should be the first option.
I do too.
You have a machine like that, a boy. I mean, I'm not saying he's a boy, but I'm saying you have a guy there who's able to get you the yardage that you need, and to also to have play action and all that other stuff come into play to compensate. Now you got some burners on the edges that you didn't have. Man, you know what they could do to free up Lamb and my boy Amari Cooper, those play actions. But to come up here and trying to, that pass that, and then run Ezeke, trying to get him to get 86 yards, and and it just, I mean, that's on the defense. Because if you're out there trying to outscore people and trying to give that extra effort, and now the boy career is hanging in balance. I hope he be able to recover.
Me too.
From this, and I can see it on his face. He knew, like Theismann knew.
Yeah.
When he broke his stuff, and I was glad to see that Theismann tweeted him and offered his prayers for him, man, because it's troubling. I suffered an injury like that playing, and I know what it is. And I just hope the young man can come back through. He's a quarterback, so he don't need a lot of movement, but it could be devastating.
Yeah, and he's a great guy, man. So I'm rooting for him. I mean it. And Blackshear, like I said, all sports and fandom aside, man, I hurt for Cowboy Nation, seeing the wife of the owner crying the way she was, seeing the fans crying the way they were, the players, and then seeing Dak. Man, it was tough, man. It really was tough.
Well, I think he knows the gravity of it, but I also understand that this is a game that is a gladiator sport. It happens.
Right.
But some things didn't have to happen. And I just hope that he's able to come back. It's going to take him about 2 years. And the rehab, get stronger, and then come back and be able to compete and make his money. I really hope that. I understand about contract woes, and we all have them. Decision you make, but you can't go forward looking back.
Yeah, well, I'll say this, man. 2 quarterbacks that played yesterday that I never thought I'd see play again: Joe Flacco and Alex Smith.
Oh man, wasn't that something?
Yeah.
All
So
that meat they took off that man's leg.
oh my gosh, bro. I could not watch it. But to know he was back out there yesterday, Dak is going to be all right. Dak is going to be back. He'll be back.
Yeah. Man, woo! I looked at the man. I said, Lord, don't let him get hurt. Just let him get his contract and get his little money so he can go and get his life savings. I would hate to see that man get hurt again. I mean, just on a routine hit.
Yeah, me too. I was happy for him, but I was cringing like, oh, y'all don't hit Alex. Y'all play tag with Alex. Just pull his flag and y'all leave him alone.
Yeah, man. Yeah, pull the flag off. I got him.
Blackshear, I appreciate you as always, man.
Brother, bless you, man.
All right, God bless. All right, let me go to another caller. Hello, you live on the lunch break. Who's this?
Cowboy Craig.
Hey, Cowboy Craig, man, I think about you all the time, man. How you feeling today, Cowboy Craig?
Optimistic.
Okay. All right.
Listen, this is my thing. What's meant for Dak, the devil in hell can't keep it from.
You're right. I believe that.
Man, Dak done been through a lot of adversity, and I didn't like the idea that Dak liked to run the ball. Dak is a stud, but some of those play calling, some of that you can tell that the offensive coordinator is a young guy because he's calling these trick plays, this kind of herky-jerky stuff. You line up, you run the ball between the tackles, and you run outside. The quarterback, you throw the ball. You got the guys to go out that can get that ball. Dak was putting that ball where it needs to be. And the offensive line was coming around, but we got Andy Dalton. I was questionable about getting Dalton. And in the back of my mind, they were probably bringing Dalton in to put a little pressure on Dak. That's the All-American boy. He's from up around that area. But, hey, man, it's no replacing Dak Prescott. But he's going to return. He's going to make it. We just got to, be prayerful. And, hey, man, hold on.
Yeah, Cowboy Craig, you're absolutely right. I want to see the organization do right by Dak, though. I mean, I understand it's a business, but don't just throw him away, just because he got hurt. Back in the day, it used to be you don't lose anything if you get hurt. Now, if you don't play well and you don't do what you're supposed to do, that's one thing. But if you are a starter and you get hurt, you're supposed to get your spot back when you come back. If you're a starter and you get hurt, you get your money when you come back. I want to see Jerry Jones do the right thing. I doubt he will because he's Jerry Jones, but I want to see him do the right thing.
But listen to this. Did you see the way Mrs. Jones reacted to that in the organization? I believe that they have a stronger relationship than they're showing in the public.
I do
for
too.
Dak.
I
I think they had a deal. Dak, you go out and do it. We gonna pay you your money. Hey man, do this franchise thing for us to help us out, and we gonna reward you. I'm hoping that they be as loyal to him as they were to Tony Romo and Danny White and all them other boys and you know, before Dak. So, you know, we'll see.
We'll see. You're right. Cowboy Craig, you're right.
My boy is Jerry. Jerry is Jerry. You know what he did to Jimmy? Man, y'all be blessed.
You too, Cowboy Craig. Always a good call, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm telling you, I'm serious, man. That's a good dude right there. I'm reaching out to all you Cowboy fans today because that was tough, man. Put the fandom aside, that was tough to see. I was glad to see all the other athletes reach out to Dak. I was glad to see the teammates of his talk about, hey, man, we had to get this one for Dak. And again, I was glad to hear the comments. I tell you what, I gotta get Sybil Wilkes. Let me read Jerry Jones' statement following, I think, the surgery. Following the surgery, let me read Jerry Jones' statement when I come back. Let's get Sybil Wilkes on real quick with our coronavirus update. We'll be back with more. It's Media Monday. If you want to get in, 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000. Also, don't forget, early voting starts October 13th. Early voting starts October 13th through the 30th. Vote, vote, vote. Just vote. Just vote. Listen, everything will get better when you vote. Vote, all right? Let me get Sybil Wilkes on. We'll be right back with more right after this.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know today about the coronavirus. 2 weeks after one super spreader event in the White House Rose Garden, Donald Trump held another rally Saturday on the South Lawn with no social distancing. This time it was before an audience of Black and Latino Americans, groups who have been disproportionately harmed by the pandemic. And there are plans for at least 3 more campaign rallies this week in Florida, Pennsylvania, and Iowa. Another 20,000 COVID-19 deaths by the end of the month are inevitable, according to a former director of the CDC. The estimate is based on the number of infections that have already occurred. According to an ESPN report, an unidentified Chicago Bears practice squad player and a coach for the Kansas City Chiefs have tested positive for coronavirus. Last weekend, a Kansas City practice squad quarterback tested positive and had been the only known positive case with the team. Please visit SybilWilkes.com to subscribe to my free daily newsletter. Be informed, be empowered.
Beautiful people, this is Major. This is why I love you on the lunch break.
All right, appreciate you, Major. Very, very, very excited about this election. We got about 22 more days, 23 more days, maybe a little bit more than that. Get out and vote, y'all. Get out and vote. I think this one is going to be one for the ages, and I mean that. It's going to be one for the ages, and I mean that. And it's not just about the presidential election. It looks like Lindsey Graham is in a battle over in South Carolina. I don't know how much Mitch McConnell is going to be battling. But, again, this is more than just a presidential election. So get out and vote. Get out and vote. All right. Let me pull this one up about Jerry Jones. Bear with me. Here we go. Jerry Jones' statement is, and I got to flip it because it reads better when it's bigger for me. It says, "We are all heartbroken for Dak and this very disappointing injury. The outpouring of messages that I've received regarding his setback speaks volume to the respect and the admiration that he has earned from his teammates, former Cowboy players, and Cowboy supporters everywhere. I know this young man very well. I know the personal hardships and strife that he has faced, dealt with, and overcome in his young life. I know of no one who is more prepared for the perspective of mental and emotional toughness and determination than Dak Prescott to respond and recover from this challenge that has been put in front of him. He is an inspiration to everyone he touches. He has all of our love and support, and we have no doubt that he will return to the position of leadership and purpose that he brings to our team." Somebody be sure to pin that post. Be sure to pin that tweet, because I need Jerry Jones to remember that when Dak comes back. I need Jerry Jones to remember that when Dak comes back. It's one thing to tweet something. It's another thing to sign the check or to hit the transfer of funds. And if Jerry Jones doesn't do those things, all that is just talk. And what they say back in the day, talk is cheap. We'll be right back.
The legendary 1140 AM KYOK Conroe and 92.3 FM K222CX Houston.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the hosts, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
Walk out on that field today. Ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house! When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready? I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from that. He's a man. They can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's war out there. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. You had no work in my world.
What's going on, Franklin Nelson?
What time is it? Game time.
Shout out,
What
brother.
time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready? I'm going to the
This is some glare.
I'm going to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
Now, that's this first hour on the books, second hour underway right here on the legendary KYOK. I'm AJ Jones. It's Media Monday. Big shout out to Leah Brown. Big shout out to Franklin Nelson. What's going on? Again, congratulations on the big win for the Houston Texans. First win of the season. Fewest number of points allowed all season long. Most points scored all season long. And Romeo Cannell has the highest winning percentage of any Houston Texans coach ever. Don't at me, it's already been proven. All right, let me give you a quick sports update. The Texans finally broke through for their first win of the season, beating Jacksonville 30-14. Deshaun Watson threw for 358, 3 touchdowns, did have 2 interceptions. David Johnson, or Mr. Johnson, as I'm going to now call him, go back to the first hour, you'll understand why. He had 96 yards rushing. The Texans will try to make it 2 wins in a row when they visit Tennessee Sunday at noon. Hey, that ain't no gimme. This Texan team can beat that Tennessee team. I believe it. Unfortunately, Cowboys picked up a costly 37-34 win over the Giants, but they lost quarterback Dak Prescott for the year due to a broken ankle, which had everybody in the stadium almost in tears. Dak, who lost his mother to cancer and a brother to suicide, was shown smiling in his hospital bed with his brother and underwent surgery last night. New Orleans going to host the Chargers tonight at 7:15. Also, we got another Monday night game or Monday afternoon game. The Denver Broncos will visit New England at 4 o'clock. That game got rescheduled because of another positive COVID-19 test with New England. And tomorrow we'll have a football game, Buffalo at Tennessee. They'll kick off at 6 o'clock. That game, of course, rescheduled due to COVID-19. NFL got a little problem on their hands. How about them LA Lakers? They finished off the Miami Heat with a 106-93 win, gave them their 17th NBA championship in franchise history. They won that series 4-2. Everybody's talking about LeBron James. Congratulations. He was the NBA Finals MVP for the fourth time, won his fourth NBA championship, and with his third different team. Congratulations. That in itself is significant. That in itself is significant. But I want to shout out to Dwight Howard. He got his first ring. I'll come back to that in a second. Also want to shout out to Danny Green. Apparently people were sending death threats to Danny Green and his girlfriend because he missed the game-ending shot a couple of games ago. Stop it. Your life is not that bad. I don't care if you lost money. I don't care if you lost a bet. I don't care about any of that. Death threats over a game. Those are the kind of people that need to be identified, need to be arrested, need to be prosecuted, and need to be put away somewhere until they can conduct themselves better. If you're running around bragging, oh yeah, I sent him death threats. I was so mad. You need to be locked up somewhere. You need to be getting treatment somewhere. You need injections. Like you need medicine. Like that is never okay. I'm sorry if you think I'm going over the top, but people take this stuff way too serious, and there's a bunch of nutcases out there that don't know how to stop. So congratulations, Danny Green, and congratulations, Rajon Rondo. A lot of folks gave up on Rondo. A lot of folks said he was washed. A lot of folks say he'll never end up where he ended up. And I'm happy for him because dude balled out. He earned it yesterday. Congratulations, Rajon Rondo. That is one of the few legitimate point guards left in the game. Rajon Rondo makes everyone around him better. Is he quirky? Yes. Very few people are not these days. So congratulations to him. And the one that just blew my mind, 2020 is ridiculous. 2020 is ridiculous. Guess who got another ring last night? I'm not talking about the dude that played with Golden State. J.R. Smith got another ring last night. J.R. Smith got another ring last night. And if you don't know that ain't nothing but God. What did Evelyn Turntine AG say? Who did it? God did it. J.R. Smith to get another ring when the last time he was in the NBA Finals, he just had a brain fart. Congratulations, J.R. Smith. Congratulations, bro. Now I know he's not gonna wear a shirt for the next month. That's just the way he does it. I'm not knocking him. I've heard this man's testimony. I've seen him cry, talking about his family and people believing in him and how bad he was out there and how they didn't give up on him. I don't care if he wears a shirt or not. I'm happy for the dude. I am. Dwight Howard, the way he was in tears last night, crying. And let me just get to this real quick. What's up, Kenneth the Messenger? What's going on, dog? I had two things to do for the day. Two. Anybody get up and write a list, my things to do for the day list, or type them out, whatever you do electronically? My list was as simple as this. Mind my own business. And number two, read number one again. Mind my own business. And number two was read number one again. I messed around and got on somebody's Twitter thread. Is it that? What do you call it? When you're on, somebody tweets something and then you tweet something in response to what they tweet. Isn't that a thread? I got on their thread and they said, oh, congratulations, Dwight Howard, got his ring. And I just said, and he got it before James Harden. I wasn't trying to throw no shade. I wasn't trying to argue. I wasn't trying to debate. And the dude was like, oh, man, let's not go there. Dwight Howard's been around for a long time. Dude, I covered Dwight Howard when he was in Orlando. I covered Dwight Howard when he came to Houston. I covered Dwight Howard when he was in L.A. I covered Dwight Howard when he left Houston. That's why I'm not a big fan of some of the other guys out there that y'all love right now, because they dogged Dwight Howard. And the dude, whatever problems he had in Orlando, which I think were more Stan Van Gundy than they were Dwight, Dwight didn't have those problems when he came here. Dwight was a leader here. Dwight was one of the veterans in the locker room. Dwight was a good dude here. Dwight ran into a dude that has a problem with himself here. So I can't hate on Dwight like other people hate on Dwight in LA or Atlanta or in, where else did he go? Washington. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when Dwight was here, for the number of years he was here, guess what? Good dude. Oh, let's not go there. Dwight, my bad. I apologized. And then the dude put out a whole nother tweet. Let's not start the whole Dwight Howard got a ring before James Harden. Listen, I'm going to just mind my own business, and I'm going to read number 2 again. I'm going to read number 1 again. I forgot that I got my own show. I forgot that I have my own Twitter account. I forgot that I don't need to be on anybody else's stream or Twitter stream and trying to get their likes and what. For a minute, I forgot. I thought we were just having a mutual peer discussion. How wrong was I? I got no shade with the dude, but I got to realize, man, just because we in the same industry don't mean we're friends. Like, I wasn't shouting out at my guy, hey, man, what's up? Hey, isn't that great that Dwight Howard got a ring before James Harden? I wasn't shouting out to my guy. I was shouting out to another dude that does sports like I do sports. And he didn't want to talk about that. Okay, great. My bad. And I did. I apologize. I said, my bad. No offense. Through a peace sign. I got to leave other people's stuff alone, man. I'm serious. That's why I rock with who I rock with. That's why my circle is so small, it's a fist. And if you're not a part of this fist, you're not in my circle. And there are a lot of people, oh, yeah, AJ, I know AJ real. No, you don't. No, you don't. If you ain't in the fist, you are not. David Grubb is in the fist. Valencia King is in the fence. Shirley Walker King is in the fence. Vincent King, they're in the fist. Kelsey Nelson in the fist. Vashti Hurt in the fist. But all these other folks, they ain't in my fist. And just because you were once in the fist, once you get out, you're out. Because sure enough, somebody else will see that. Oh, man, I can't believe he was like that with me. And I'm glad you told him off and that kind of stuff. That's childish, man. There's enough sports for us to have multiple different takes about the same thing. And I got to realize I got to mind my own business. And for number 2, read number 1 again. All right, let me take a break. I had to get that out. I'm going to come back with the shock of the day. We'll talk about my shock of the day yesterday. We'll be right back on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
This is Earl G. Robinson. When people say my vote doesn't matter, when you don't vote, your vote counts against you. The other side gets a vote. If you want to fix our broken criminal justice system and reform your local police department to make it more accountable, you need to vote. If you want to increase economic prosperity in the black community, you need to vote. If you want to protect the right to vote, you need to vote. If you want more funding for our schools, you need to vote. Voting does matter. If Black Lives Matter to you, you need to vote. Early voting begins on October 13th and ends on October 30th. Election day is November 3rd. You need to vote. We all need to vote. If you don't vote, it will matter.
Paid for by the Communications Workers of America, District 6, Claude Cummings Jr., Vice President.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who've helped people that have been injured or wronged. Have you been diagnosed with cancer? Are you one of the millions who have taken Zantac or other generic versions of this popular drug to help treat stomach issues? Then pay close attention to this message. The FDA said it detected low levels of a probable cancer-causing chemical known as NDMA in Zantac and other generic forms of this popular drug. They've banned sales and even removed it from the market. If you've been diagnosed with cancer and you've taken Zantac or a generic equivalent, call the legal helpline now. You could receive a free cash award and have your medical expenses covered. And there's no upfront cost to you. They only get paid if you win. So please call now. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. That's 800-251-7816.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
Beautiful people, this is Major. This is why I love you on the lunch break.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I gotta add to the fist, man. Willie Gibson, broadcast journalist from The Ohio State, who graduated from The Ohio State University up in Columbus, Ohio, covers the Cleveland Browns and the Big Ten, just sent me an update. The Denver-New England game is going to be moved to next Sunday. So that game will not take place this afternoon. But Willie's definitely in the fist. Willie Gibson is definitely in the fist. You know, definitely in the fist. You're a good dude. Look, came highly recommended by somebody that I love like breathing. I love this person for free. And Willie Gibson is in that fist. So thank you, man. I always appreciate him. Got to have him back. I think we're scheduled to be back on Thursday. Willie, did you get your cut together, man? Did you sit down with your barber and get your cut together? Let me know, man, if I need to put something on that. And let me go on and send Willie I owe Willie 99 cents for that Arizona iced tea. Let me see where Willie Gibson stuff is. Willie, do I have your I'm about to send Willie $500. That's crazy. I'll pay. All right, let's see. Willie. I don't know how to spell. Willie. There he is. Look at Willie Gibson. Okay, I'm gonna put out here Arizona iced tea because he said that Cleveland was gonna beat Dallas. Let me go ahead and send that. Bang. All right, let me make sure I did it. It went done. Willie, check your cash out, bro. Check your cash out, bro. I just took care of my outstanding friendlies. Yeah. He said Cleveland was gonna beat Dallas. I didn't believe Cleveland is like 4-1 for the first time since Boys to Men, End of the Road, I think was the number one song the last time Cleveland was 4-1. I think Bill Belichick was the head coach. Cleveland Browns are 4-1. But Romeo Crennel still has the highest win percentage in franchise history. So there's that. I know I'm bouncing around, but somebody just sent this to me, and they ain't quite in the fist, but I'm gonna give them some love. Like they good people, but they ain't in the fist. I know they're listening, so yeah, you ain't in the fist yet, but you good people. You good people. All right, so I got the top 25 high school football rankings, top 25 football teams in the country, and I'm reading it because of number 2, because of the number 2 team. Number 1 is the IMG Academy down there in Bradenton, Florida. In that Prime Times High School, IMG Academy. Number 2 is none other than North Shore High School right here in Houston, Texas. That's who's number 2 in the entire country. Them boys from the Mustangs from North Shore are number 2. There you go, North Shore. Handle your business. Let me go down. Katie is number 7. Let's see if there's anybody else worth shouting out. Duncanville is number 13. Duncanville lost to IMG Academy 41-14. So, there's that. See, Ryan from Denton, Texas is number 16. Let's see who else is on here. Archbishop Rummel is 21. They're from Metairie, Louisiana. Allen High School from Texas is at number 22. And then Westlake from Austin is number 25. So there you go. Those are the Texas teams in the top 25. So thank you to the person that sent that to me. You ain't in the fist, but you still all right. Like, when I'm not hanging out with the fist, I can hang out with you. All right, so I made a discovery yesterday that changed my life. I mean, it was one of the greatest discoveries of all time. One of the greatest discoveries of all time. I got to take a break. When I come back, I'm going to tell you about that great discovery. We'll be right back right after this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
It's go to the telephone.
Our First Lady, Michelle Obama.
If you think things cannot possibly get worse, trust me, they can and they will if we don't make a change in this election. It is up to us.
Add your voice. Vote for every Democrat, start to finish. You can vote early from October 13th through the 30th or on Election Day, November 3rd.
We have to vote in numbers that cannot be ignored.
Paid for by the First Tuesday PAC, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
All right, it's election time, which means political ads are everywhere. But there's a reason for that. This is important. We have a president who is a straight up racist, who uses racist language and attacks to divide Americans against each other. We don't just need a new president, we need leaders who aren't afraid to stand up to Trump. But our senator, Republican John Cornyn, he votes with Donald Trump more than 95% of the time. So what do we do about it? We vote for Democrat MJ Hagar. MJ is a combat veteran and as a working mom who knows healthcare costs are out of control, she'll fight for affordable healthcare, cheaper prescription drug prices, and protect people with pre-existing conditions. And she's endorsed by President Obama. But most importantly, she's got the courage to stand up to Donald Trump. So vote. Vote Democrat, all the way down the ballot. And vote for Democrat MJ Hagar for U.S. Senate.
I'm MJ Hagar, candidate for Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by MJ for Texas.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Two radio stations in one.
Now is a great time to replace your worn-out windows during the Renewal by Andersen 25-year savings event. Upgrade your home today. Buy 4 windows and get the 5th one free. Plus, get 12 months with no interest, no money down, and no payments. Call now. Get 4 windows and get the 5th one free. Installation and warranty included. Renewal by Andersen takes every CDC-recommended safety precaution to protect your family. For 25 years, people have trusted us for their window replacement needs, and you can too. Call now to learn about our buy 4, get the 5th one free window replacement offer.
800-245-1537. 800-245-1537. 800-245-1537. That's 800-245-1537.
Interest accrues from date of purchase, but is waived if paid in full within 12 months. Other conditions apply. We've adjusted our operations to serve you safely following all CDC guidelines. Visit renewalbyandersen.com for details.
Hey, what's going on? This is Lecrae, and right now you're listening to The Lunch Break.
Man, I feel like I made a bunch of discoveries. Number one, I didn't realize Lecrae was my frat brother. I did not realize that Lecrae was a noob. I wish I had known that when I was getting him to record that at the Super Bowl gospel explosion. I would have handled that totally differently. Nope! What's up? Nope! I would have handled it more like that instead of, hi, Mr. Lecrae, do you mind doing a drop for me? I work for KWWJ or KYOK. It's called The Lunch Break. Oh, yeah, sure. I'd have been like, no, what's up, frat? Yo! I would have hit him with one of those. Yeah, but that was one discovery. Number two, I just realized tomorrow is the 13th, which means early voting starts tomorrow. Yes. Early voting starts tomorrow. So on your way to work tomorrow, you can pull in to a polling location and you can early vote. They're open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and you can early vote starting tomorrow. Man, and when I heard the commercial, I was like, that's tomorrow. Yes. Houston, Texas, all y'all. The 13th through the 30th, you can start voting tomorrow. Do it. Don't wait. Don't wait. If you want to request an early ballot, a mail-in ballot, you got to do that by the 23rd, and it's got to be received by November the 3rd, which is election day. So please, early vote. Check your polling places. Some of them will allow you to, vote curbside. Some of them, you got to go in, but they got, spacing and social distancing and, they're all coronavirus ready. But you can start voting tomorrow. Tomorrow! Vote, 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 vote. There you go. All right, so here's what I found out. The discovery of a lifetime. Have y'all ever heard of something called jackfruit? I ain't know nothing about jackfruit. I ain't know nothing about it. And this jackfruit, they can make them like chicken wings, like hot wings. And the one that I had yesterday, they taste just like hot wings. Like they had barbecue sauce on them and everything. And I was in heaven. I ain't never known nothing about no jackfruit. How come y'all didn't tell me? Y'all know I've been a pescatarian/vegan since September of 2019. And I've been struggling, eating these Beyond Meat burgers and Impossible Meat burgers and sausages. And the one thing I hadn't been able to find a replacement for was for my hot wings. And I found a place. Good God Almighty, I found a place. Baby, where have I been? What's up with this jackfruit? Where y'all been? Hello, let me go to the phone line. Hello, you live on the lunch break. Who is this?
AJ Ferdinand.
Ferdinand, did you know about this jackfruit?
Okay.
Bruh, it is just like meat. Look, it's like you can make it like pulled pork. You can make it like they made it into a chicken wing and they put a cauliflower stick in it. And it made it like it was the bones of the chicken. Oh, bro, I was licking my fingers.
Saying that it's not meat?
It's vegan. It's
vegan.
It's plant-based.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
Ferdinand.
Well, it's changing. Don't think I can say that.
Ferdinand, I have found a piece of heaven in earth.
Well, it's always been here. It's just about us finding it, at the right time, But it's a lot of good things here, man. Eat besides meat. I'll be honest with you.
Well, man, I tell you what, bro, and I mean it. The place that I went, I can't call the name of the place because they don't advertise with us. But the place that I went, they smoked it and they put real good barbecue sauce on it. And I understand it was vegan-based barbecue sauce as well. And bruh, oh my gosh, man, I'm serious. I was licking my fingers for hours yesterday while I was working.
Yeah, you got a lot of chefs, man, that can really, make anything taste good, especially when it's smoked. It's all about preparation and hard work, and that's how it pays off.
Yeah. They just told me, so you obviously don't watch Tabitha Brown. I do watch her, but her eyes are too big. She scares me when she goes, ooh, and she stretches her eyes real big. It scares me. I don't know what happened to me as a child, but when she does that, I get weary. But anyway, Ferdinand, what's going on, bro?
Just happy that the Texans was able to get a win. At this point, a win any day is great. And also,
did they look like a different team to you? Did you notice anything different about them? I mean, I'm going on and on and on, but how about you? Did you notice anything different about them?
No, I didn't get a chance to watch them, AJ. I just know that, man, when you're under the coaching of Romeo Cornell, man, great things can happen. So I didn't have, I just believe in Romeo.
I do too.
I followed his career, and too many people can't tell me anything about Romeo Cornell. I followed his career. I know that guy's a champion. and I know he's all about winning. I mean, he's going to do the best he can with what he has, and I don't expect him to do too much this year without, the players that he needs. But, I mean, he's definitely going to leave a positive aspect on that team, whatever they decide to do with it.
Yeah, the Atlanta job opened up today when they fired Dan Quinn and their general manager. And I keep saying this, and I hear a bunch of, local experts who, want to go on and on and on about what a great job the Texans job is. I mean, just because the locals feel that way doesn't mean everybody feels that way. And I think that's where Houston sports and Houston fans run into problems, because they just think too much of themselves. And then when other people who think highly of themselves turn out to be better, Texan announcers and fans don't know what to do with it. That Atlanta job is not a bad job. That Atlanta job, and now you're not under the thumb of the general manager. You can put your own imprint on that. I don't know, bruh. If I got to weigh the two, and given the fact that the Texans don't have cap space over the next couple of years, and don't have, well, at least over the next season, and don't have draft picks coming up, I don't know if I'm just running into that Texan job. If I'm a Eric Bieniemy or somebody like that, I don't know. I might go to Atlanta first.
Well, if you're just looking for money and money alone, you come to Texas. But if you're looking for something way more than just money, if you're looking to try to win some championship, Texans just wouldn't be the place to come to. They ain't being ugly, they're being truthful. Texans, they've allowed Bill O'Brien to shoot themselves in the foot by getting rid of all of those great name brand players right there, and it's just not going to happen. You get no draft pick. You may can find some free agency somewhere down the line, but when you really look at it from a different standpoint, it's just the piece of the puzzle are gone.
And that's the thing, Ferdinand. There are people, I'll say it like this. We as fans and as announcers feel like we should dictate to a head coach or general manager how they should come up. Like, a head coach should be willing to build it from the ground up. No, they shouldn't. If that's not what they want to do, and if there's a better opportunity that's almost already built, I'm not going to be mad because somebody chose to go a different route than the route that I thought that they should go. If I'm Eric Bieniemy, I'm going to be as selective as possible. You never know how many shots he's going to get. So if I think that the Atlanta job is better, or the New York job is better, or if the Chicago job opens up, or if Philadelphia opens up, they lose another game. I'm going to pick the best job for me, and I don't care what they say on the local radio stations, and I don't care what the fans say, because guess what? I'm the one that's going to get fired if this thing doesn't work out.
Absolutely. So are you willing to come to a job where you're more likely to get fired than to stay? When you look at management as a whole, and you look at the players and what you have, you're not going to come here and think you're going to create miracles when we've had the guys here and win a championship.
I'm going to tell you, man, if you did a who's who used to play for the Texans, you could put that up against any other team in the league. I'm not talking about guys that retired. I'm talking about guys that got let go or traded away. You could put them up against anybody.
Absolutely. And so that's what I'm speaking of. I would definitely take a better job if I had no other offers. Yeah, you take the Texas job, but if you have offers that are a little bit better than what Houston can give, I definitely would go somewhere else. And if Houston is smart enough, AJ, this is what you do. You keep Romeo for about a year or two until he want to retire, and then you be looking for somebody that can fit where you're at now and growing as your team has to grow. So they have a lot of work to do. It's easy, AJ, to go hire a coach. Well, in your hiring, what are you looking for, and what is your goals going forward? Because right now, I don't see a champion here in Houston for decades.
Yeah. Ferdinand joining us. He's calling the year 2017. Well, here's what Cal McNair said he was going to do. He's going to hire a general manager first, and then let the general manager hire the head coach. What's going to be really telling is who they bring in as the general manager. If they bring in one of these old heads that's been, long time general manager, we already know this thing's headed in the wrong direction, because all they're going to do is go out and try and find, one of these old head coaches that's up in the booth, or a head coach, Brian Billick, who's got a Super Bowl ring. What's the guy who used to coach Pittsburgh? Try and bring him out of retirement and all that. We don't need that. If they bring in a Brian Billick, or if they bring in a Bill Cowher, or if they bring in, one of these old head coaches, it's going to be the same old, same old. But if they bring in a general manager that, is like an Alonzo Highsmith, or a Garrett Jones, or someone like that, then I know we got a shot to do something new, exciting here in Houston that is worth waiting for it to get built. I don't need Brian Billick to come in and try and rebuild the old Baltimore Ravens of 2000. I don't need Bill Cowher to come in here and try and build the old Pittsburgh Steelers of 2001 or 2002 or whatever. I mean, Deshaun deserves better. The city deserves better.
And I'm glad you said it, AJ. But now I can tell you this: sometimes people don't want to do what's right. The only general manager that the Houston Texans need to be talking to if they want to make the playing field right is Rick Smith. Before I go talk with anybody else. If you want to start off anew, go back and fix what you've broken. So Rick Smith only has a track record of bringing in champions. And so that's who I would be talking to if I was the organization. Of course, I'm not. But that would definitely be a right direction to go in. But we know that's definitely not going to happen.
Yeah, and I agree with it. I think that there's a couple of ways they can make things right with Rick Smith, and I definitely think that they need to do that. If I'm Cal McNair, man, I apologize to the highest level of sincerity and contrition and what have you, because of the way that he allowed Bill O'Brien to do Rick Smith. But I also think that there's a rare opportunity here to bring in some fresh blood. And Garrett Jones and Alonzo Highsmith, guys like that, they're not that old regime. They don't have the old ties to Cal and the McNair family and all this other stuff that Rick would have or anybody else would have. We need something new here. We need something different. If you want something different, you got to do something different.
And I'm always trying to AJ, but the thing of the matter is, will that happen? I mean, that's a great idea. Would be good for the Texans going forward.
You're right.
It remains to be seen.
We don't know. And one thing I can say, and this is another thing that I say to the powers that be, the experts that think that, this is a great job. This is a great job. There are a lot of other people outside of Houston that are looking at the way the McNairs have run this team. And this is a team that makes money, but doesn't invest a lot of money. And, Bill O'Brien gave away the house while he was here. He ain't here no more. So you might see the Texans go back the other way, where they barely paying people and all they care about is being profitable as opposed to winning. And, folks can say what they want to say. Oh, I know the McNairs care about winning. They care about winning with a profit. And if they're not going to get the profit, they ain't going to be more concerned about winning. They haven't invested in a championship here. And if so, where is it?
Yeah. Well, I can give you two names, and I won't name the second name, AJ, about football teams that was just looking to me for prosperity and money and just selling a good product. And they've done that. They've done it well. But for putting the money and putting the people in place that need to win championships, AJ, we haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And we're still waiting to see it. And I'll leave you on that now. I'll say this and I'm gone. AJ, but who's me to tell people that if you're able, willing and able, that you can get out, most important, AJ, if you get out an early vote.
Yeah.
We have to early vote.
Yeah.
The ones that can and able and have strength in their body, make it to the polls. Because with the mail-in ballot, I would hate to see a bunch of shenanigans come towards the end, and that makes a big problem later on. So those who can go and are willing to go, to get in those lines and do your due diligence, like we all need to do, let's get out and go to the polls. And the ones that need to mail them in. But if you can do it and you have your strength that God has really given you, we need to go out and record-break numbers and make something happen.
I'm with you, Ferdinand. Very well said, man. And like I said, it just hit me that tomorrow is the first day of early voting, and I am. Before I hit this door over here, I'm going to make sure I get to a poll place somewhere and cast my vote tomorrow. I want to get it off and get it in because, man, this one's going to be one for the ages.
Absolutely. And there's no tomorrow. I'll put out some tomorrow what you can do for the day. We have to make a difference. We have to make a change. Whether people want to change or not,
if you don't make a change, I'll go with the scripture, AJ. Man gonna destroy himself. We got to make a change. He's giving us dominion and power to do it. It's up to us to do it.
Yes, sir. I agree. Amen, as they would say.
All right. Well, have a good one, my brother.
You too, Ferdinand. You too. Be safe. Be blessed, man. Caller of the year, Ferdinand, 2017. First caller on this show. Appreciate him. I mean it. Good dude. And like you said, get out and vote starting tomorrow. Polls open at 7 a.m. for early voting tomorrow here in the state of Texas. So, yeah, man, that jackfruit, goodness gracious, good Lord. Where have I been? And where are all my vegan and, plant-based eaters? How come y'all didn't tell me? I got to make a statement when I come back. I do have to make a statement when I come back right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. We'll be right back.
I'm Gary Bledsoe, Texas NAACP president. In my lifetime, we have worked and sacrificed to make real progress.
That's right, Gary. I'm Claude Cummings, Vice President of the Communication Workers of America. Our community is under attack again.
Our jobs are being exported. The court system has largely turned its back on us, and people need to realize, Claude, is the last election amounts to a true revolution, where all those gains in civil rights and human progress are actually being targeted.
I know powers in Washington won't deny health care to working people who have pre-existing conditions, eliminate environmental protections for minority communities. It even encourages racism.
We thought those days were gone.
Dr. King said the time is always right to do what is right.
Let's do what's right. Let's vote and get your family and friends to vote too. If you don't, you should not be surprised to see drastic changes in your world.
Vote early or on election day.
Political advertising paid for by the Communications Workers of America.
You're listening to 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legendary KYOK.
You're home. You're a diabetic. You need supplies, but you don't want to visit the pharmacy. What do? Call US Med for home delivery of your supplies. If you have diabetes and you're worried about going to a crowded pharmacy, pick up the phone in the safety and comfort of your home and let US Med deliver them to you with free shipping. And now if you test your blood sugar 4 more times a day and inject insulin 3 or more times a day, you may qualify to get a new continuous glucose monitor at little or no cost, which may eliminate the pain of pricking your fingers and helps you make smarter diabetes decisions. Plus, we'll send you a 90-day supply and bill your insurance company for you. Get some peace of mind. Call US Med today.
800-417-0851. 800-417-0851. That's 800-417-0851.
I'm going to tell you how you can get real health insurance for as little as $6 a day. Yes, now you can get affordable health insurance for you and your family immediately, starting at just $6 a day. And coverage is guaranteed regardless of your medical condition. That's right, for about $6 a day, you can have guaranteed health insurance. And there's dental, vision, and prescription coverage too. You owe it to yourself and your family to make this free call right now and learn more. There are no deductibles, no waiting period, no contracts, and coverage is guaranteed. Call National Health right now for your risk-free guaranteed health insurance quote starting at just $6 a day. Call now.
800-797-0921. 800-797-0921. 800-797-0921. That's 800-797-0921. Paid for by GoHealth.
All right.
This is Brian Courtney Wilson, and you're listening to The Lunch Break.
All right, y'all. We're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones, and Jonathan Joseph trying to bust in on my show. Stop it. So anyway, man, y'all are funny with this jackfruit, man. I didn't know. I'm glad all y'all knew, but none of y'all told me. So, but I do have to release a statement. One of my black and gold sisters, Gina Fleming, who has been eating plant-based for a long time. I mean, really, Gina Fleming is one of the people that I kind of followed her journey before I made one of my own, had been telling me about, vegan wings and stuff like that, and I was hard-headed. Y'all remember National Wing Day a couple of years ago? I was all in it. I went to a national chain, a regional chain, a local chain, and then the little neighborhood spots. I went to like 4 different ones. And she was like, yeah, there's vegan options. Like, I don't want to hear that. When it comes to my wings, I want my wings. And I owe her an apology. Gina, let me read my prepared statement. I, AJ Jones, apologize for not listening to you when you told me there was real good vegan options for chicken wings. I apologize. I was not myself. I had been abducted by aliens. I was hearing voices, and I'm back now. I'm sorry. And please forgive me, Gina Fleming, my black and gold sister. I will not be taking any questions. That's it. That's my statement. That's my statement. Al High says, hold on. My thing, Facebook's tripping. What is the vegan wings made out of? Jackfruit. It's made out of jackfruit. It tastes just like meat, man. I'm telling you, bruh, it tastes just, I'm not kidding. I'm not overselling it. I'm telling you. I was a wing connoisseur. I'm the guy who all over the country, I would go and I would try out their wings. And by the way, Kansas City not only has the best barbecue, they got the best wings too. But that's a whole nother sermon. But anyway, this is it, bro. This is it. This is the missing link. Like this is the link between us and aliens. This is out of this world. This is out of this world. So yeah, man. Yeah, I'm looking for a jackfruit sponsor. If anybody has a jackfruit restaurant out there, I need you sponsoring the lunch break. Think about it: lunch break, food, lunch break, food. We need to be married. We need to your kids need to be calling me Uncle AJ. If you got a restaurant that serves jackfruit, I need you sponsoring this show right now. Call me right now, and let's get it going. Cause baby, I done found something that I can represent. I can represent that. I can get behind that, man. I am not just a client. I am the president. That's what I'll be saying. That stuff is good. That stuff is good. Al High said facts. I'm telling you, man. It's legit. I didn't know. I slept on it. My bad. My bad. So anyway, Astros. I kind of said I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to do it. I got to do it. Astros lost to the Tampa Rays by the final score of 2-1. 2-1. Astros had 9 hits, left 10 men on base. One guy that didn't get a hit was you know who. Who did I tell you I was going to start calling the mouth of the South? I'm not saying it's over. I'm not saying that he's not going to play well. I'm not saying any of that because, again, I want Dusty Baker to be like I feel how I feel about Romeo Cornell. I want Dusty Baker to get his first championship. I want Dusty Baker to get his respect. I want Dusty Baker to be like LeBron. They didn't respect his team. They didn't respect his organization. And I want my respect too. I can't say it the way he said it. I want Dusty Baker to get his respect. Folks don't realize Dusty Baker got to the World Series with the San Francisco Giants. Dusty Baker got to the playoffs with the Cincinnati Reds. Dusty Baker had a real good team and got to the playoffs with the Washington Nationals. The Reds fell all the way off after Dusty. The Giants won their World Series after Dusty. And the Nationals won a World Series after Dusty. But watch this. None of them would have had it without Dusty. And you have brought Dusty Baker in to clean up a flat-out mess. And I'm not talking to these ridiculous Astro fans that want to whine and talk all loud and come up with all these little catchy, yeah, but this and yeah, but that. You cheated. You got caught. I don't care who else cheated. I don't care who didn't get caught. You didn't have to cheat. You did. Just be quiet about it. It's over. It's done. You got punished. All the people that should have got punished didn't. The people that did get punished, those were the least involved, except for the former general manager, Jeff Lunau. That dude's a crook. That dude's a flat out crook. AJ Hinch, I won't be mad if he gets another job in the league. At least AJ owned it, apologized, and, AJ is the guy who should have been talking for the whole organization. AJ is the only guy, and I'm talking about player, owner, you name it, wearing an Astros logo. AJ was the only one that made sense and did it right. Everybody else was ridiculous. Jim Crane, Carlos Correa, Alex Bregman, Jose Altuve, all of them. A joke. But Carlos Correa, man, this whole last couple of games where they're mad at us because we're winning these games, and too bad, you got to be mad. All that nonsense, bro, you were hitless. You were 0 for 2, and if they hadn't walked you a couple times, you'd have been 0 for 4. Be quiet. Win the American League pennant. Get into the World Series. Talk noise after you win the pennant. Nobody but the local fans who are already ridiculously behind you, no matter what y'all do, those are the only people in the world that care about your nonsense and your talking. Nobody's going to talk their way into a World Series. You are not Reggie Jackson. There's only one Mr. October. Him. It ain't you. I mean, it's just ridiculous. You had too many chances to move runners around. You didn't do it. Be quiet. Win quietly. No, AJ, we got to let them know. We got to let them know. You ain't no real Astro fan. I'm not. Not of this team. I'm a fan of Dusty Baker. I'm a fan of George Springer. I'm a fan of Michael Brantley. I like them guys. I'll give Jose Altuve some love because reportedly he didn't do the sign stealing thing. Now, maybe he had a buzzer on him. I don't know. But Astros, you're not going to win because you with this dumb vibrato. Fans, y'all are just stop it. Talk your noise after the fact. You are not the Lakers. You did not win 17 titles. You got one, and you cheated to get that one. I hate to always have to be the voice of reason to a fan base that should be better than this. Astros and Rays will play again today just after 3 o'clock. Hopefully the Astros will just play. Just play. Carlos, stop talking and just play. You're a great player. God only knows how good you're going to be. Just play. You ruined good pitching yesterday. Pitcher pitched his behind off and didn't get any run support. And heaven forbid, everybody keeps saying, yeah, but the Astros bats. Look at those bats over there in Tampa. The bats in Tampa ain't bad. Oh, yeah, by the way, they won the AL East. They beat the Yankees. They beat the White Sox. They beat everybody. They ain't bad. Astros were, in essence, a wild card team. The Rays won their division. They're not bad. So don't think that y'all are the only ones with bats that can come alive. We saw it. I'm going to bring it up. Folks don't want to hear me. We saw it last year when everybody said, oh, there's no way Washington can beat the Astros. No way. Not with that lineup. No way. And what happened? Washington wasn't the least bit concerned about the Astros lineup. And they beat them every single time they played them here in Houston. Talk about add insult to injury. I'm a Dusty Bakers fan. I do not want the mouth of the South and the fans that support him to mess it up for Dusty. This might be his last chance. This man has earned it. You talk about somebody that's earned it. Dusty Baker has earned it. Dusty Baker was a great Atlanta Brave. Dusty Baker was a great LA Dodger. Dusty Baker earned this opportunity. And I like what Dusty said. Dusty, a couple of weeks ago, they asked him about people coming into him with negativity. Dusty said, they don't get in my face with negativity. He said, because I'm not a turn the cheek kind of guy. I was like, go ahead, Dusty. Dusty said, I'm not a turn the cheek kind of guy. They don't get in my face with negativity. Y'all leave Dusty alone. I hope Carlos Correa does well today. I hope the Astros win today. I want Dusty to get a ring. Can we all do it for Dusty, please? All right, I got to get ready to go. Let's see if there's anything breaking. Any breaking news? Willie, any breaking news out there? What's up with the Raiders? Are the Raiders for real? What's up with the Raiders? Oh, and again, sincere thoughts and prayers going out to the family of Hall of Fame second baseman Joe Morgan. I got the word right before I came on the air and posted it that Joe Morgan had passed away. I know Joe Morgan played with the Astros, for Christ's sake. I know Joe Morgan from his days with the Big Red Machine in Cincinnati when they won World Series championships. That's when I knew Joe Morgan. I knew Joe Morgan growing up that way. So I get that he played for the Astros. That's great. But Joe Morgan was a great member of the Big Red Machine with Tony Perez and Dave Concepcion and Johnny Bench and, yes, Pete Rose and those guys. Don Gullett and those guys. So, anyway, sincere thoughts and prayers out to his family. I already talked about the Falcons, got rid of Dan Quinn and their general manager. Stephen Jones has said Dak will return to the Cowboys in 2021. AP top 25. We'll do just real quick, do the top 10. Clemson, number 1, overrated. Alabama, number 2, overrated. Georgia, number 3, overrated. Notre Dame, number 4, extremely overrated. Number 5, North Carolina, and they're legit. Number 6, Ohio State. They better play. I can't wait till they get back on the field. Guess who they get to beat up on first? Nebraska. You know who may end up as the head coach of Nebraska? Y'all write this down. The new head coach of Nebraska after Scott Frost gets fired might just be Tom Herman. I can see that. That's more of Tom Herman's speed right there, Nebraska. And he'll fit in great there. Number 7, Oklahoma State. Number 8, Cincinnati. Number 9, Penn State. Number 10, Florida. Number 11, Texas A&M. Out of the top 25, LSU and Texas. They're out of the top 25. All right, let me get Sybil Wilkes on, and then we'll wrap it up. Get Sybil Wilkes on here. We'll wrap it up. It's been fun. Again, a lot of revelations. Congratulations again to Romeo Crennel, highest winning percentage of any head coach with the Houston Texans. Romeo Crennel. Hopefully they'll get their second win this Sunday. Congratulations to the LA Lakers, and not just to LeBron. Congratulations to J.R. Smith, Rajon Rondo, Dwight Howard. Congratulations to Danny Green. Congratulations to JaVale McGee. Congratulations to all of those guys. All of them. All the Lakers deserve that. And again, sincere thoughts and prayers going out to Kobe Bryant's wife and family, and to the families of everyone that died on that fateful day. It's very small in comparison, but, the memories will definitely live on. All right, got to go. Donnie McClurkin up next with the Donnie McClurkin Show. He'll give you the best in gospel music, the latest in the gospel music industry. Donnie does his thing every Monday through Friday from 2 to 3. Also, you got Erica Campbell and Griff Get Up Mornings coming up tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. to 9. You got Call to Inspire with Dr. Sylvia Cole, and then I'll be in with Team Texas Tuesday. I will have some guests with me tomorrow, so be sure and tune in for that. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it except wear your mask, wash your hands 30 seconds or longer, sanitize everything around you, and be sensitive to everybody around you. Give folks their 6 feet, please. And when you see that racism, kill it. Not the person, the racism. All right, y'all. Be blessed. Talk to you tomorrow.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know today about the coronavirus. 2 weeks after one super spreader event in the White House Rose Garden, Donald Trump held another rally Saturday on the South Lawn with no social distancing. This time it was before an audience of Black and Latino Americans, groups who have been disproportionately harmed by the pandemic. And there are plans for at least 3 more campaign rallies this week in Florida, Pennsylvania, and Iowa. Another 20,000 COVID-19 deaths by the end of the month are inevitable, according to a former director of the CDC. The estimate is based on the number of infections that have already occurred. According to an ESPN report, an unidentified Chicago Bears practice squad player and a coach for the Kansas City Chiefs have tested positive for coronavirus. Last weekend, a Kansas City practice squad quarterback tested positive and had been the only known positive case with the team. Please visit SibylWilkes.com to subscribe to my free daily newsletter. Be informed, be empowered.
All right, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. We appreciate all the callers today. Had a very good interactive show today. I love you guys, man. Y'all really make this easy to do by myself. So congratulations, Texan fans, Cowboy fans. Praying with y'all and for y'all. And again, y'all, be safe out there, okay? We'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Love y'all. And I mean that sincerely.